against Nebraska, a classic confrontation. They have come from Broken Arrow, Muskogee, and Seminole in Oklahoma, from Burr, Battle Creek, and Grand Island in Nebraska. They're over 76,000 strong in Owen Field to witness the 64th struggle between Oklahoma and Nebraska to see the top-ranked team in the country, Nebraska. The Sooners lead the series, but Nebraska has won the last 2 games. The weather conditions for this game right now, they're pretty good. 56 degrees, but you see the forecast down below, rain. In fact, the weathermen around here in the Oklahoma area are saying by halftime our weather could really deteriorate. Oklahoma fans have come to Norman to say goodbye to 15 Oklahoma seniors.
All Big 8 selections.
The Goodlows, the Bensons, the Ships, and Parkers, along with 2-year All-American Rick Bryan. They have been the nucleus of Barry Switzer's team.
Defensive end.
Let's go down now and listen for their introductions.
Defensive back from Houston, Texas, Robert Williams. Defensive tackle from Sherman, Texas, Danny Wilson.
And now the special introduction coming up of Rick Bryan out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
And a 3-time All Big 8 and 2-year All-America selection from Toledo, number 80, defensive tackle Rick Bryan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is a classic, Oklahoma against Nebraska. It's been a long but yet a very successful season for Nebraska. They started the season August 29th against Penn State. They've had the pressure of being ranked number 1 all season long. Also the pressure of having the longest unbeaten winning streak in the country, 21 games. But this Nebraska team knows one thing. If they do not win today, they will not have what they consider to be a successful season. And Coach Tom Osborne wants to win that first national championship. Now, Oklahoma, they started out at the beginning of this year, picked by many to win the Big 8 Conference. However, they stumbled early against Ohio State and Texas. They lost Marcus Dupree. And then that stunning shutout by Missouri. They're not going to any bowl, but they know one thing. If they win today, all will be forgotten. My broadcasting partner is Pat Hayden, but first, let's go to the field, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. The quiet resolve of Tom Osborne. His 11th year as coach of the Cornhuskers. They're going for their 3rd straight Big 8 championship, and the Sooners now of Oklahoma. Let's introduce Pat again, my broadcasting partner. Pat, the word great is overused many times, but many people are saying that Nebraska is the greatest offensive team in the history of college football.
What about awesome? Homer Smith, UCLA's offensive coordinator, Gary, has said nobody in the history of college football has quite put the weaponry together the way Nebraska has this year. They can play power football, bloody your nose with Mike Rozier up the middle. Then they can run Turner Gill on the option play and pass the ball very effectively. Then they get mixed in a little bit of Irving Fryer from the wingback on inside reverses and traps. The combination of these make them very difficult to defend.
But Barry Switzer's most concerned about Irving Fryer. He says that's a big difference maker.
Well, the emergence of Irving Fryer has made this football team complete. When you think of Gill, Rozier, and Fryer, they've helped their team average 54 points a game. But the remarkable thing to me, Gary, is they have only attempted 3 field goals all season long.
And I might add, they made all 3 of them. Now, at the start of the year, the leading Heisman Trophy candidate was Marcus Dupree here at Oklahoma. He's left, but there is life after Dupree for Oklahoma.
Well, enter Earl Johnson and Spencer Tillman, the new tailbacks, and they played very, very well. But in the I formation, you need an effective passer. Danny Bradley is a wishbone quarterback. He was recruited as a wishbone quarterback, but he's only completed 42% of his passes this year. Today, the coaches feel that he needs to complete 60%.
Ready to go now, Scott Livingston, number 48. Toss, they elected to receive. Buster Rhymes and Derek Shepard back for the Sooners. There'll be no return, and at the 20-yard line, Oklahoma will set it up. The officials for the game today, all from the Big 8 Conference. John McClintock. This crew, an excellent veteran crew in charge of a very important game, not only in the Big 8 Conference, but with national implications. From the 20, Danny Bradley will bring him up. We want to check one thing. We expect to see Spencer Tillman a lot at fullback. They open the game, however, with Jerome Ledbetter back there, along with Earl Johnson. In motion, Steve Sewell. This is Johnson. He'll pick up 6, 2nd and 4. Now let's take a look at the Oklahoma offense. First, the backs and the receivers.
We talked a little bit about quarterback Danny Bradley. His ability to convert on 3rd down is key here today to keep Nebraska's offense off the field.
Johnson, 259 yards the last time he played. He's a slashing runner.
And in the offensive line, center Chuck Thomas. He's all Big 8. He's their best offensive lineman.
2nd down and 4 for the Sooners. Bradley, heading off to Ledbetter, the fullback. He's very close to the 1st down. Mike Keeler, number 61, made the stop for the Nebraska defense. And speaking of the Cornhusker defense, let's look at him.
The defensive line, number 90, Scott Strasburger. He's a walk-on, had a big interception in last year's game.
Man you want to watch, number 44, Mike Knox. All Big 8, their leading tackler, as good as they've had at Nebraska.
Another all Big 8 performer in the defensive backfield is safety Brett Clark. He is their best defensive back.
3rd down, less than a yard. Going to be close. And Oklahoma has picked up the 1st down.
Gary, we heard Eric Parsegian in the pregame show. It's important for Oklahoma's offense to come out early in the game and gain a couple of 1st downs to keep Nebraska's offensive team off the football field. And we have seen that here on 3 plays. They've run 3 successive downs and picked up their first down.
Here's the man trying to provide the leadership. Bradley out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. You see how he has thrown the ball. They've thrown for more yardage this year than they have in a long time. But they're still kind of using it as a surprise and not as a weapon. 1st down. Bradley deflected. Incomplete. And that's where possibly, Pat, that 5'10" height hurts Bradley.
You mentioned his height, but they want to do with Danny Bradley is sprint him out as they did there or roll him out to try to get him away from the rush of Nebraska. He had a trips formation. He had 3 receivers to his left side. The ball there is swatted away there by Mark Dahm, the linebacker. No chance for Danny Bradley to get the ball to his receiver. We mentioned that he has to have a very effective day throwing the football to beat this Nebraska team.
Buster Rhymes checks in. 2nd down, 10. Ledbetter. Johnson in the backfield for the Sooners. This is Johnson. Johnson spinning for a couple, and that's all. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8. Mike Knox was over there. Barry Switzer, his 11th year as the coach at Oklahoma. 2 times he's won a national championship in 74 and 75. And Tom Osborne trying to win his 3rd straight undisputed Big 8 championship. He also came to the league 11 years ago. 3rd down, 9. Now Tillman is checked in, so they have Tillman and Johnson in the backfield. We expect to see a lot of that today. Shepard in motion. This is Tillman. Tillman with a 1st down. There's 3 penalty flags on the play. Spencer Tillman, the Big 8 newcomer of the year. Brilliant run, but let's see if it's coming back.
You said it's a brilliant run. Spencer Tillman, they said he reminds of a lot of Joe Washington. He can juke, he can jive, he can cut. You see him put a move there on number 2, Mike McCasham. There's the clip right there, 82, Paul Close, a wide receiver. Clipped the Nebraska defenders. That's what the penalty was all about. Let's take another look. Watch the receiver, 82. Paul Close is going to come into your picture and hit somebody from behind on the clip right there. He clips Dave Burke, number 33, and there's Spencer Tillman taking advantage of that clip and cutting outside, but the official was there to make the call.
There were 3 officials. 3 flags were thrown.
On the offense, third down.
Penalty now will move it all the way back. They had the line of scrimmage almost to the 50. It'll amount to a 3rd and 15 after the penalty. Sets it up at the 26.
3rd and 15. This is not Oklahoma's type of game.
And you can see Barry not pleased about that last development. They need some success early. In motion goes Shepard. Movement on the line. It looked like the man split to the bottom, fired off before the ball was snapped. That would have been Buster Rhymes. And some tempers flare.
Penalties have hurt Oklahoma all season long, Gary. They've had 82 coming into this football game. They've had 2 here today. They're 1 away from the Big 8 record for most penalties in the season.
They picked up a couple in a hurry here, haven't they? The clip and now the illegal motion. And they're going backwards to the 21. Not what Barry Switzer had in mind.
Encroachment on the offense. Dead ball foul. Still third down.
Barry Switzer said prior to the game, we don't want any dumb penalties. You call that a dumb one?
They've had a couple of them so far.
Line of scrimmage at the 21. Now 3rd and 20. Tillman, number 34, with Johnson in the backfield. Bradley gives to Tillman. He gets 2, maybe 3, and they're going to have to punt the football. So that Nebraska defense has done the job.
In years past, when Oklahoma ran the wishbone, Gary, they were very, very successful on possession downs, but they were successful because they got defenses in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 situations. Since they have gone to the I formation in the middle of last season, they faced a lot of situations like we just saw, and they have not been as good converting those.
Kicking the ball is Darren Ataya, a freshman out of Seminole, Oklahoma. They are really concerned about this return because Irving Fryer is back there. Fryer is going to let it hit. Takes an Oklahoma bounce. A very effective kick, though not very artistic. It'll be at the 33-yard line. The number 1 ranked offense in the country will have the ball there after a 43-yard pin. And the Huskers have the football. From the 33, Nebraska with the football. Mike Rozier, he's got a first down. Each time he touches the football, he averages 8 yards. That time he went 13.
It's no surprise that Mike Rozier is going to carry the ball a lot today. You can see him in the I formation here over the left side. He gets a good block by Dean Steinkuhler, the All-American guard who was out in front of him. You see the way he burrows his head, breaks tackles. He has that explosion through tacklers, which separates him from just the good ones.
And does he play with confidence? Just across the 45. Here he comes again. Rozier. That's a 4-yard pickup. Hit that time by Keith Stanberry, number 19, the strong safety. And now let's take a look at this very, very powerful Nebraska offense.
At quarterback, number 12, Turner Gill, all Big 8. He is 19-0 in Big 8 starts, undefeated.
Mike Rozier, we asked him what he thought he did best. He said, I have outstanding instincts.
And Irving Fryer, number 27. Tom Osborne says he's the fastest college football player in America. And Dean Steinkuhler, he's the All-American guard. We just mentioned him, saw him pull out in front of Rozier.
2nd down, 7. Mark Shalene, the fullback. Jackie Shipp making the tackle. The line of scrimmage will be the 45, about a yard short of the first down. Now defensively, let's look at Oklahoma.
They're in the defensive line, Ricky Bryan, the 2-time All-American. He says our defense can play with anybody.
Number 39, Kevin Murphy. One poll had him the Big 8 Defensive Player of the Year. He's a difference maker.
The linebackers, Thomas Benson. He has tremendous speed. His hands are full with Rozier. And Scott Case at free safety. He is an all Big 8 player.
From the 45 now. 3rd down, less than a yard. Rozier's got that. Jackie Shipp. All Big 8 performer, number 49, a linebacker, over to make the stop for Oklahoma. Rozier impresses you so many ways, but Pat, what really impresses me is when he hits the line of scrimmage, he is hitting the line of scrimmage full tilt.
And he does, and he breaks tackles like we say. He has speed, but the thing about Mike Rozier, I think what separates him is the way he carries himself. He's got tremendous confidence. He knows he's a good player.
This whole team's got that confidence. When you're number 1 in the country, why not? The pitch to Rozier. Rozier inside the 40 to the 37. Rick Bryan, number 80 over there. And Bryan said, we're going to have to get a lot of people on here.
So far, we've only seen one facet of Nebraska's offense. Early in the show, we said they could option you, they could throw the football, they can run reverses with Irving Fryer. But right now, they are bloodying Oklahoma's nose, running power football, Mike Rozier, right up into the defensive line of Oklahoma.
Rick Bryan, one of 3 brothers on this Oklahoma team. 2nd and 6. Number 30 again, and Rozier close to another first down. Good blocking up front again. Jackie Shipp in on the tackle. Shipp out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. Rozier weigh about 210 pounds. As you look at Shipp, the pros really like him. And they like this guy too. He might play somewhere.
10 straight 100-yard days.
And 3 straight 200-yard days. He's 28 yards already on 5 carries. On a 3rd and 1, Turner Gill. And Gill is so good on the option, has the first down. Stanberry on the tackle for OU.
Early in the game, all we've seen is power football out of Nebraska. But on 3rd and 1, you're going to see another part, the option game, Turner Gill. And this is what Barry Switzer was concerned about, the way that Turner Gill can find a way to beat you on 3rd downs.
Rozier now the all-time Big 8 rushing leader. He moved ahead of Terry Miller in this first series. Pitch back to him. And you can see how tough he is to bring down one-on-one. Kevin Murphy eventually drops him. Pick up a 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6. Murphy, a junior. He's out of Plano, Texas, which has produced so many outstanding college players. Rozier from Camden, New Jersey. Shalene Rozier behind this man in the backfield, Turner Gill. On a 2nd and 5, Rozier looking for a lane, and it wasn't there. Shipp made sure of that. Murphy also in on the tackle. Barry Switzer needs to hold him here, at least make him settle for a field goal. 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Well, as we mentioned, they don't kick many field goals. They've been very effective scoring touchdowns all season long.
Isn't that amazing? 3 field goals. They've hit all 3 of them. But Barry right now would like to hold on this 3rd down. James Swanson in motion. Rozier. Oklahoma fans feel they've held, and they have.
The left side of the offensive line of Nebraska. Nebraska in this first series have run almost exclusively to their left and make the point they're running away from Ricky Bryan. Here on a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 situation, they go once more to the left, but they're not going to make the first down as Thomas Benson there along with Jackie Shipp to put the stop on Rozier.
Well, the 4th field goal try of the year is coming up, a 32-yarder by Scott Livingston. He's a transfer from a California junior college, Cerritos, from Lakewood. His longest this year was 34. They're faking it. Pitch is up to the 5-yard line. Tim Brungart, a backup fullback. They faked it. They got it. 1st and goal.
We talked about the surprises that Tom Osborne always seems to put in. A little shovel pass right there to number 32. Brungart completely fooled the Oklahoma defenders as it fooled me. But again, Tom Osborne comes up with a surprise every Oklahoma-Nebraska game, doesn't he?
They just don't want to kick field goals. Wait a minute now. Oklahoma wants a timeout. They want to regroup. They've got to be a little stunned by that fake field goal. Turner Gill and company still have the football when we return. 7 minutes left in the first quarter.
He is on the ground here. You can throw a shovel pass as he did here. He cannot get up and run, but he can throw a shovel pass as he did right there to number 32, Tim Brungart, which surprised the Oklahoma team and gave Nebraska a big first down inside the 10-yard line.
Barry Switzer called timeout, and Pat, that might have been a good timeout because his team was really shaken. They thought they had him stopped and they were going to have to get the field goal. Instead, they faked it and now have 1st and goal at the 7. Shalene and Rozier in the backfield. Fake by Gill. That play just didn't develop. Fryer, the intended receiver, but good pressure by Oklahoma. Turner Gill straightened up, and he had a man in his face. Darrell Goodlow. This will be the 13th play of this drive that started from the 33. That's interesting. Oklahoma has not given up the long drives.
Nebraska, on the other hand, has driven the ball the length of the field against just about everybody this entire football season.
They've shattered all those offensive marks. Second and goal. Shalene. Touchdown. From 7 yards away, his 8th touchdown of the year. Shalene is the guy who says, I have to play harder just to keep up with the Friars and the Gills and the Rozier. 67-yard drive. Livingston to attempt the point after. And it's a little wobbly, but it's still good.
Gary, this was the same play that Nebraska used so successfully last year, Oklahoma game. They scored, their fullback scored twice last year on this play. Mark Shalene, a little trap right up the gut. It's the fear of Mike Rozier that Oklahoma's concerned about. They line him up in the I formation, and the linebackers respect him. But here's a quick little trap. You see Harry Grimminger, number 58, and there's nobody there, right into the end zone. Thomas Benson, the linebacker, had overrun it. But this drive of Oklahoma, we saw a little bit of everything. We saw the power. They bloodied Oklahoma's nose. We saw Turner Gill run the option play on a 3rd and 1 situation. We saw the trick play on the fake field goal situation. We saw Mark Shalene in the end zone for 6 points.
The lead. Livingston will kick off for the Huskers. Buster Rhymes and Derek Shepard back for OU. Knuckleball. It's a very effective kick, however. Shepard gets it. And he gets it out, still fighting his way to the 23-yard line. Looking ahead tomorrow, the NFL on CBS will be a doubleheader day. In the first game, many of you will see the 49ers, who are tied for the NFC West, against the Bears, and then the feature doubleheader game, the Packers against the Falcons. These games plus other regional action all starting with the NFL today, and it's getting down to some real important struggles in the National Football League.
Boy, San Francisco sure is fun to watch. They can really throw the football.
Bill Walsh and that innovative offense. Here we are now at the 23.5-yard line. Oklahoma trailing 7-0. In motion, Johnson. This is Johnson with the ball, and he goes for 5. Neil Harris, number 11, the cornerback, out of Kansas City, Missouri, making the stop. And Johnson's a slashing runner, and that was very evident there.
A straight line runner. He had 259 yards 2 weeks ago against Colorado.
He just keeps coming at you. There he is, out of Dallas. He went to Jefferson High School. And he, along with Tillman, has a double team job of fill the shoes of Marcus Dupree.
1,600 yards between them.
Second down, a long 3. Up the middle, Ledbetter. And Ledbetter appears to have and does have the first down. Ledbetter's been hurt all year long. He's out of Muskogee. They could just keep him healthy, probably would have had a little more playing time. That may be some of the success, Pat, that Oklahoma needs. That first down, get a little field position.
But it's key for them is on first down. We saw on first down a little earlier, Earl Johnson picked up 6 yards. That's what Oklahoma has to do. They are not a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 team. They just don't have the strong right arm to be able to convert those third downs.
From the 35, first down. In motion is Sewell. Give to Johnson. Johnson knocked down, and I mean in a hurry, at the 38 by Mark Dahm, number 51, a big, rangy junior out of Dix, Nebraska, one of the many players out of Nebraska that played 8-man football in high school.
One of the battles we're going to watch today is center Chuck Thomas and the nose guard from Nebraska. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Here you get a good look at number 52 is Ken Graber, the nose guard. The nose man, his job is to anchor the middle there, to keep the blockers off the linebackers, to allow Mike Knox and Mark Dahm, Nebraska's linebackers, to make the tackles.
On a 2nd and 8, Bradley opens Rhymes. Buster Rhymes. First down. 25-yard completion. Brett Clark on the tackle.
Barry Switzer calls Buster Rhymes a pure athlete, nothing but athletic skill. and you're going to see Danny Bradley on a sprint out, get outside the containment. A big cushion there for Buster Rhymes. He has outstanding speed, as the Nebraska defense respects it, and that's how Buster Rhymes caught it in front of him.
Well, George Buster Rhymes has had to battle back into the good graces of his coach, Barry Switzer. He was disciplined, then he got academically in difficulty. Now back as the split end.
He catches balls like that, he's going to keep very, very happy.
Yes, he will. On a first down, Earl Johnson runs into Ken Graber, number 52. And Chuck McBride, the defensive coordinator for Nebraska, said that Graber doesn't know second gear. He said he beats up on our people in practice.
They say he's nuts, but here he is against the center. He lost battle 1 to Chuck Thomas, we saw just a play ago. But here Ken Graber, round 2, goes to Graber. As you see, a fight off the block of Chuck Thomas right there, and he puts the stop on the Oklahoma team. Good play by Ken Graber.
Graber out of Minneapolis. He and his dad showed up in Lincoln and wanted to play football. Another walk-on. They make it an honor to be a walk-on at Nebraska. Second down, 8. Johnson, and now Tillman is in the backfield. Mishandled snap. Bradley back there. He's got it.
We've seen this fumble here of Oklahoma seem to be so characteristic of Oklahoma through the 70s and the 80s. Actually, they fumbled. That was actually the 38th fumble this year.
But a lot of that, Pat, was because they were in that wishbone so much, which is a high-risk offense. They have cut them down lately, but that was not one of the times. It's now 3rd and 15.
Well, you shouldn't have as many in the I formation.
Line of scrimmage now at the 47 of Nebraska. Rhymes, Shepard will be split out on this play. Johnson, Tillman in the backfield. That's Shepard in motion. Bradley, real trouble. Scott Strasburger, number 90, eventually caught up with him. The all Big 8 academic performer who's in pre-med, and he just wouldn't let him get the corner turn.
And there's also very good pass coverage as we're going to look at Nebraska's pass coverage. Here you're going to see there was nowhere for Danny Bradley to throw the football. Good coverage. This Nebraska team has been maligned. Defensive team has been maligned. But Bradley had no receiver open there, and Strasburger put the stop on Bradley so he couldn't run it. That's very good defense.
You know, they're maligned, but Pat, they really haven't been tested that much this year. They've been beating up on teams, and it's been hard to know how good they are. Ataya will now punt for Oklahoma. Fryer back deep for the Huskers. Oh, what is that? Was it partially blocked, or did he just miss it? The ball is rolling, and it's going to go inside the 20-yard line. It becomes an effective kick, but a shaky kick at the start. A 32-yard punt for Ataya. Boy, Texas, they're on their way to the Cotton Bowl, and what a lift that's got to get them, winning in College Station.
They were down 10-0, really came back.
Georgia had a real struggle with Georgia Tech, but you know what that means? Those dogs, those junkyard dogs of Georgia.
How about them dogs? We're going to see them.
Yes, sir. They're going to be in Dallas, and so CBS, and that's going to be quite a matchup. Tell you what, you better tie on your helmet that day, huh?
There are two teams can play some defense now, I'm telling you.
From the 20, Nebraska with a 7-0 lead. Shalane Rozier in the backfield. And here comes the Heisman Trophy candidate for a couple. Mike Rozier. Everybody figures he's going to win the Heisman. That might be one of the big scoops of all time if he does not get it. Kevin Murphy made the stop on him.
Well, he was strutting around Lincoln the other day like he expected to win the Heisman. A very, very confident young man, and rightfully so.
Confident but not cocky. There was a difference about that attitude. It was like, hey, I know I can do it, but I'm not going to brag about it.
He can really carry himself like a winner.
2nd and 8. Fryer in motion. Here he comes again, and he's going to change direction, and he's not going to get away. That was an excellent play by Jim Rockford, number 2 out of Springfield, Illinois. It'll bring up 3rd and 9 now for Nebraska.
Nebraska has just about run every play to its left over Mark Benning and Harry Grimminger and pulling Dean Steinkuhler. But the point to be made is they're running away from Rick Bryan. That's the kind of respect they have for Bryan. I met Rick Bryan yesterday, and I'm telling you, he was ready to play 48 hours ago. I hope he didn't lose that, and evidently he hasn't. Intense. 3rd and 9. Gill to throw. Being chased out of there. Bryant after him. Incomplete, almost complete to Fryer. And Fryer really took a hit. Scott Case was back there. He leads them in interceptions.
The Oklahoma defense contained Gill on third down.
And that's what Barry Switzer thought they had to do. But you're going to see another impromptu play by Turner Gill, which makes him so difficult to defend. He decides to scramble to the right, picks up a couple of blocks, and then tries to get the ball to Fryer, and he is going to take a big hit. Jim Rockford, who was on the play earlier, gave him a hit, and then Scott Case, number 10, came over and greeted him as well.
Well, this will only be the 33rd punt of the year for Nebraska.
The punter is superfluous for Nebraska.
And going back will be Shepard, freshman out of Odessa, Texas. This year, Livingston averaging 41-4. That's 11th best in the nation in net punting. Just hadn't had that many opportunities. He hit it well. Shepard from the 34. And he'll make it to the 41. Boy, what coverage by Nebraska. 46-yard punt that time. 7-yard return. They're starting to get riled up here in Norman. This is a snake pit. Owen Field. Nebraska's been on the field a lot this year defensively.
And that's the reason they've given up some points and taken some criticism. They have been on the field 8 games out of 11 more than the offense because the offense has scored so much. They've been had to protect leads, and that's why they've given up some points and they've received some criticism.
Give to Earl Johnson. Johnson will pick up 4 yards. Wade Priner and Mike Keeler combining on the stop for Nebraska. That's the time remaining in the first quarter. Chuck McBride, the defensive coordinator, said that this defense of Nebraska has great heart. He says we may not have the most outstanding athletes, but they'll keep coming at you. Got a lot of respect for this man, Tom Osborne. He's been kind of a low-profile man. He replaced the legendary Bob Devaney. He won a couple of national championships, and he'd like to get his first. Second and 8. Tillman to the 35. 22-yard run.
We told you that both Earl Johnson and Spencer Tillman were going to play in the same backfield, and that's just what happened here. Spencer Tillman from the fullback position, a quick hitter. He is just too quick. The linebackers were looking for Earl Johnson, who had gone in motion. But watch the block on the nose guard, number 64, Mike Tranmore. He is taken out of the play by Eric Pope, number 63, that really cleared the way for Spencer Tillman.
Spencer Tillman, the #1 prospect in the state of Oklahoma a year ago. Now with the ball again, he's got an alley. He's got another first down. Mike Knox on the stop. Give him 12 yards. And in 2 plays, Oklahoma now is at the 23 of Nebraska. Very articulate young man. Tillman majoring in radio and television.
Probably have my job in a couple of years.
Out of Tulsa, Edison High School. 46 yards on 4 carries. Ledbetter, Johnson now in the backfield. Tillman out of there. Here's Johnson. He'll get to the 20. Mike Cramner, the man we isolated on a while ago, the nose guard out of Craig, Nebraska, made the stop, and we have come to the end of this first quarter. The battle for the national championship. Right now, Nebraska leading it 7-0 here in Owen Field in Norman. Enter quarter number 2. Oklahoma has a 2nd down 7 at the Nebraska 20. The Cornhuskers scored early on the touchdown run by Mark Shalene. In motion, Steve Sewell. Faked by Bradley. Did not fool Nebraska. Rob Stuckey, 75. Mike McCashlin were there, and Bradley really paid for that one. Let's look at the first quarter statistically.
Well, we thought that Nebraska would have an advantage in the passing game, but you see they had completed no passes in the first quarter. Oklahoma had the one big catch by Buster Rhymes. Average yards on first down, Nebraska 4.8. They were averaging 7.4 coming into today's game.
3rd down 7 now for Oklahoma. Ledbetter and Johnson in the backfield. Bradley on a sprint out. Wide open. That was Johnson. He couldn't have been more open at the 15-yard line. He had enough room there to pick up the first down.
This is the problem that Oklahoma has had all year, converting on 3rd and 7 situations. As you said, Earl Johnson was open. Had he caught it, he would have certainly had a first down, perhaps a touchdown. But Danny Bradley has not been able to find a way to complete those kind of passes to keep drives alive.
Tim Lasher, number 31, a freshman out of Plano, Texas, who's hit 6 of 11 field goals, will attempt a 37-yarder. Lasher with enough distance and enough height, but it's no good. It's wide right. And so Oklahoma misses a golden opportunity. Barry Switzer said coming into this game he thought they might have to score 30 points to win. Right now they're still not on the scoreboard with 14:21 left in the first half. Nebraska will have it from the 20. Shalene Rozier in the backfield. Here is Shalene, and Shalene will get 2, maybe 3 yards. Kevin Murphy again on the stop. Rick Bryan told me, he said, we're going to chase them all over this place if we have to, but one thing we're not going to do is budge up front. And Bryan has not budged thus far.
They say about Rick Bryan that he's the most consistent player they've had here since Leroy Selman.
All-time tackling leader for the Sooners, and they've had some good ones, like Lucius Selman, for instance. On a second down, pitch back, and Rozier will make it just short of the 30-yard line. It's going to be short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1. Mike Rozier.
Watch Nebraska go into the short side of the field, Gary. Most college teams use the wide side of the field. Nebraska is not afraid to run the ball into the short side of the field. That has been their history. We see phase 2 of Nebraska's offense, too. That was the first option play we've seen Turner Gill pitch the ball to Mike Rozier.
Shalene Rozier in the backfield. I started to say Rozier feels he's better as the game goes on. He gets stronger, and there's Turner Gill trying to sneak it. His initial thrust was really thwarted, but then maybe the second effort got him there. It did. He was really popped up there.
He got knocked back by somebody.
Bob Slater. There he is. Bob Slater was the guy that popped him.
Watch the thrust of number 68, Bob Slater, as Turner Gill is, again, just trying to convert on a 3rd and 1, but you're going to see right there, actually it's 49, Jackie Schiff, who comes in and puts the stop on Turner Gill, but not before he had the first down. Big hit.
But it's still a first down at the 31 now for the Cornhuskers. In motion is Fryer. Up the middle, Shalene, and some popping going on up there. That's the second straight time they have hit in there and have been hit back. There's Bryan. Bryan at 6'4", 260. Danny Wilson, who's same as the starter for this team, number 98, also in on the tackle. He's going off. He, along with Slater, alternate at that defensive tackle spot. It'll be 2nd down 8, and we have a man shaken up. Dwight Drain has been injured for Oklahoma, so the officials stopped the clock, and there's Drain, senior out of Miami. He's very physical, and this time he comes away the worse for wear. The line of scrimmage, the 33. Nebraska thus far has thrown only 2 passes. They've been on the ground 18 times. Inside handoff to Rozier, and Rozier will get out to the 39-yard line.
We talked about
Stanberry on the staff for Oklahoma.
Excuse me, Gary. We've seen Mike Rozier run power football. Now you're going to see him on the wing running an inside trap, following Mark Benning, the guard and the tackle inside. Picks up a couple of big yards, good blocks, but another way they can use Mike Rozier on an inside reverse trap.
He can do it all, and it's 3rd and 2 now from the 39. Swanson in motion, number 17. Gill. Intended receiver was Rozier. He thought he was interfered with. That was Sonny Brown, number 8 for Oklahoma over there defending. They're going to have to punt the football.
One more way that Mike Rozier can try to hurt you is by receiving the football. He is a very good receiver, but Sonny Brown is equal to the task here. The defensive back that has him very well covered. There's no way Mike Rozier can catch that ball.
Now this will be the first punt of the day into the wind as you look again. Brown has an interception this year for Oklahoma, but kicking into the wind this time will be Livingston. He kicked to the wind 46 yards. He's in trouble, but he got away with it. Crazy spiraling kick, and it's going to come out to the 35-yard line. Good job that time by Livingston. He was in real trouble. He averted the rush, still got away, a 26-yard punt. It's tense here in Norman. Oklahoma playing the top-ranked team in the country very, very well. They trail 7-0. Look at the play selection thus far. 17
rushes, 3 passes, and Danny Bradley missing that one pass where he had Earl Johnson open.
This time Buster Rhymes. He got it. The athletic ability of Buster Rhymes.
Danny Bradley did not miss Buster Rhymes this time. You said the athletic ability. He is a pure athlete, 6'4", 250 pounds. He can jump and he can run. Watch this catch, the tremendous concentration. That's what it takes. The ball bounces up in the air, but he never lost sight of the football. A big game, big catch.
Dave Burke covered him pretty well, but not well enough. Pick up on the play of 34 yards. Trying to set up their running game, and Earl Johnson is whacked down by Mike Knox, number 44.
Just in case you don't think they're hitting, take a look at this one. Hello.
Mike Knox he's intense from Castle Rock, Colorado.
The day after.
Inside the 30 now. Second down, 8 for Oklahoma. In motion Johnson. This is Johnson with the ball. And he's not going to go anywhere. Bill Weber was there first, 87. And then Dave Burke filled, number 33. Bill Weber, an all Big 8 academic selection. They're going to lose yardage on that play. Outside the 30. It'll bring up 3rd down 9. Weber, a Lincoln native. Played at Southeast High School. He was a prep athlete of the year his senior year in the state of Nebraska.
Average yard to go on 3rd down, 10.1. We mentioned that is not Oklahoma's type of game. They cannot win with those kind of statistics.
They have a 3rd and 9 now. Ledbetter, Tillman in the backfield. Tillman in motion. Bradley sprinting that way. Broken up beautifully. That is Harris, number 11, who stepped inside. Paul Cluis, number 82, the intended receiver. Neil Harris has been hurt some this year. He was a starting cornerback, then lost his job to Todd Fisher for some time.
He did not look here because you're going to see number 11, Neil Harris, the defensive corner, just drive on this ball. Steps right in front of Paul Cluis, beautifully bats the ball away without interfering with Cluis. That's how defensive backs are supposed to play.
Tim Lasher, who missed a 37-yarder, will attempt a 47-yard field goal this time. Again, he's got enough distance, and this time it's no good. He's missed them both. And Oklahoma has come away dry on 2 opportunities. They trail 7-0. 9:43 left in this first half. The Huskers trying to win their national championship. Has missed 2 field goals, and Pat, that's got to really be maddening if you're Barry Switzer and the Sooners.
Well, the game could very easily be 7-6.
You can't let the number 1 team in the country get away like that. Nebraska from the 30-yard line. Turner Gill to throw. He's in trouble. Dropped by Danny Wilson. Wilson out of Sherman, Texas.
Turner Gill wanted to go for it all here. You see the play action fake to Rozier. They had set this up earlier. But Danny Wilson, number 98, was not fooled. He never even looked at Rozier, was all over Gill, came up with a big defensive play. That's what Oklahoma needs from its defense to give its offense a chance.
That's a 14-yard loss to the 17-yard line. Tom Rathman, the fullback, number 26, is in there. Double wing alignment this time. They're going to reverse it to Fryer. Fryer to the 25, the 30, 35. He's going to be short of the first down. Out to the 36. Scott Case eventually caught him.
This Nebraska offense has so many different talents, and Tom Osborne knows how to use them all. We've seen Mike Rozier run power football. We've seen Turner Gill run options. And here's the third of the triplets, Irving Fryer on a reverse. He's rushed 23 times this year. He's averaged over 14 yards a carry. And here's why you give the ball to Irving Fryer. He can do so many things for you.
He got 21 yards back. Third down. Still about 6 yards to go. Gill delivers. And that will be enough for the first down. Ricky Simmons with the first down catch. Jim Rockford on the tackle, and Turner Gill had something on that one.
And Nebraska's changing its game plan a little bit. We saw in the first quarter how they bloodied Oklahoma's nose, came after them with power football. This quarter, we've seen a little bit of option plays. We've seen some reverses, and there we saw a pass to Ricky Simmons.
Turner Gill, an outstanding baseball shortstop, showing this live arm that he has. On a first down, that ball almost bobbled by Rozier. He got control of it, picked up a yard. Kevin Murphy on the stop. Coming into this game, Oklahoma, I should say Nebraska, was a plus 15 in the turnover margin.
Well, let's take a look again at Mike Rozier in the fumble. This is interesting, the way that Nebraska runs its pitch play. Normally, the quarterback will go back and hand the ball off to the tailback deep. Nebraska pitches the ball to Mike Rozier deep in the backfield. He has to take the time to look at the ball rather than looking at the defense, and sometimes it causes some problems.
You can see he's well below his seasonal average in carries. There was Tom Rathman, and Rathman has a first down to the 45 of Oklahoma. Keith Stanberry made the stop. A 10-yard run by Rathman, a sophomore out of Grand Island, Nebraska. That moves the chains. Don't hear a lot about Rathman, but you're going to hear a lot about him in the next 2 years. First down, just short of the 45. Gill gives off to Rozier. Rozier bounces inside the 45 to the 42. Jackie Shipp, Rick Bryan making the stop for Oklahoma. And Oklahoma's defense has been on the field a lot in the second quarter of play.
Let's take a look at All-American Rick Bryan, number 80. You're going to see him fight off the block of Scott Raritan, number 72. Right there, he fights off the block of the fullback Rathman, bounces back into the play, helps his teammates out on Rozier. A full effort player, plays hard on every down.
This Nebraska offensive line had only one starter back, Steinkuhler, but they haven't missed a beat from a year ago.
He's a good man to have back.
Rozier goes in motion. Turner Gill to Fryer. Fryer's got the corner inside the 35 to the 32, and that'll be another Cornhusker first down. 10-yard pickup. Stanberry, the strong safety, making the tackle.
You have to really enjoy the diversity of this Nebraska offense, though. They do so many things at you. They take advantage of all their weapons. And give Tom Osborne some credit for having this team play as a team when he has so many weapons. And he gets the most out of all of his personnel.
Now, Nebraska, you can see they've really had some operating room this season. 7.4 yards on first down. You can do a lot of things on second and third down when you get that kind of yardage. But today, it's not been that case at all. First down from the 32. Gill, and nobody really open. Fryer, the intended receiver. Rockford defending. Here's the man that they say plays with so much confidence, and all the players, Rozier, Fryer, said he is the leader. Man down now for Oklahoma. That's 39, Kevin Murphy. They can ill afford to lose him. What a fine player he is. We have a break right now at Owen Field with 6:40 to go in this first half. Nebraska leading Oklahoma 7-0. Stay with us. We'll be back with more. Defense. Mike Knox, Dave Burke. They got some pride. Second and 10 now for Nebraska. Murphy off the field. John Truitt replaced him. Turner Gill on a quarterback draw to the 31-yard line. Rick Bryan is there again. You can see why he's the all-time leading tackler. He's been all over the place.
As we look at the play selection, Gary, Nebraska early on in the first quarter had some success running Rozier off tackle. Here in the second quarter, we've seen Turner Gill throw the ball, run a little bit more option. The reason they've done that really is to make Oklahoma defend all of their weapons. And let's face it, too, Oklahoma's strength defensively is right up there in the front with Ricky Bryan and Slater.
It's starting to rain, as you can see. The rain gear, the foul weather gear starting to break out. Third down now, 9 yards to go. Gill. And the attempt that time by Scott Kimball, a junior, but just a little too tall.
3rd and 9. Turner Gill has been very good on third downs all season long. In last year's game against Oklahoma, he converted 8 of 11 third downs, but here a little too much. He's trying to get the ball to Scott Kimball, number 88, well covered there by Jim Rockford, number 2, who's had a very good first half. Out of the reach of Scott Kimball.
Well, they're going to go for it on 4th down. You got a strong wind they're going into, so they would be completely a folly to try to kick a field goal. And Gill is going to go for it on 4th and 9. Back to the same play, and this time Fryer can't come up with it.
You see the smile on Irving Fryer's face as he turned around there. He thought he could have had this ball. You're right, Gary, it was the exact same play. The play action fake to Mike Rozier to hold the linebackers. Turner Gill is going for it all on 4th and 9. This time to Irving Fryer. The ball is out in front of him just by inches, and it is a game of inches.
You know, Oklahoma now needs some success offensively. You've got to give their defense all the credit in the world. They've held Nebraska to 7 points. 5:56 left in this first half. Now the offense needs some success. From the 31, Tillman. Tillman getting some success that way. Out for about an 8-yard pickup on the play. Boy, is he quick. Brad Smith, 81, made the stop. He has 54 yards. Well, next Saturday, got an outstanding afternoon, starting with Florida State and Florida, 12 o'clock Eastern. And Florida State, Greg Allen, the All-American running back. Boy, when he gets in the open field, look out. And they have an interstate rivalry against Florida. And what an exciting thing that's going to be. And then one of basketball's outstanding rivalries, Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosiers against Joe B. Hall's Kentucky Wildcats. 2nd down and 2, and Oklahoma very close to the first down. Earl Johnson carrying. Strasburger made the stop, but the Sooners have the first down. Oklahoma line, if you look at it, Pat, has not been up to expectations. They have Thomas, who's their best man at center. They haven't had the year they'd like to have had out of Paul Parker to guard. They've had to play a freshman at one of the guards.
And when you remember, too, in the I formation, the offensive line is more critical. They have to hold their blocks a little bit longer than they would in the wishbone formation, which they ran a year ago.
First down at the 42. 7-0, Nebraska. Bradley. Complete to Shepard. First down, Oklahoma.
This is the kind of success that Danny Bradley needs to have here today. We talked about the 60% completion rate. Again, the fake to Earl Johnson. He's been successful running the football. The play action fakes, hold some people, allows Derek Shepard to run an out pattern. A big cushion there given by the Nebraska defense allowed Shepard to catch the ball for the first down.
17-yard pickup. Shepard, who had 2 brothers that played at Oklahoma, Woody and Darrell, and that time the first down catch. Tillman inside the 40. A lot of congestion up front that time. Oklahoma twice has had field goal opportunities. They've missed them both. They trail 7-0. They need to get on the scoreboard with 4:24 left in the first half.
Here's a look at Danny Bradley, 3 of 6. That's 50%, of course. It was 42% coming in. He is going to have to be successful on these 3rd and 6th and 7 Garys to keep drives alive, to give this Oklahoma offense a chance, and also really to keep the Nebraska offense off the field.
Oklahoma asked for the timeout. That leaves them with only 1 remaining in the first half. We'll take a timeout, but we'll be back. Good now. 2nd down, 8. Oklahoma asking for the timeout. They have 1 left. Inside the 40 of Nebraska. Tillman. Tillman may go. Touchdown. did during that timeout, but whatever they called was the right play, wasn't it, Pat?
Spencer Tillman, he can really motor. Awfully quick.
39-yard touchdown run. He already has 95 yards for the day. Lasher, point after attempt coming up. He's tied it up. And so the rain falls, but I don't think Oklahoma even notices right now.
It did not bother Spencer Tillman. The speed and the quickness of Spencer Tillman, he goes through there like a shot. There's nobody really touching him there in the middle of the defense, and that's where the heart of the defense should be. Picks up a nice block downfield. Excellent speed, the freshman, Spencer Tillman. Let's look at the block on the nose guard, the center, Chuck Thomas. We saw the big opening that Tillman had, but watch Chuck Thomas right there. Come up and get the nice block, help from Eric Pope, number 63 there. That created the hole for Spencer Tillman. This is the result. Nobody there.
That's what Nebraska feared. It was that quick hitter up the middle. They said they'll keep hammering at you, and all of a sudden the lane opens, and that's what Tillman did. He went 39 yards.
You look at the history of this Oklahoma offense, their fullback position, and with the quick hitters, as we just saw Spencer Tillman run, that has been the bread and butter of their offense. The quick hitter, nobody's there, you overreact, and he's by you before you can even think about it.
Well, Spencer Tillman just this week was voted the Big 8 Newcomer of the Year, and he justified that vote with that brilliant run. Now it's all even. Fryer, Rozier will go back for this kickoff.
You said the Oklahoma offense had to respond and help the defense out. They certainly did.
The crowd really into this game now. They're forgetting about the rain, and all eyes right now on the field here at Owen Field. As we said, Oklahoma needed some success, and Pat, they have some now.
Oklahoma's defense is playing well enough for them to win this football game.
That was their 16th touchdown of 30 yards or more. That shows you how explosive the Sooners can be. Line drive kick. Rozier. He's got an alley. He's going to bring it out to the 40-yard line. You know, a lot of teams would not put their #1 running back for kickoffs, but Tom Osborne doesn't think that way. He wants his best athletes there.
And he's going to take advantage of everybody's talents, and one of those talents is putting Mike Rozier back there to return kickoffs. Picks a nice little hole, has very good vision, sees the entire football field, which all good tailbacks do, and that's the result.
As an end result, they're out at the 40-yard line. 3:56 left in the first half. Murphy is back in, by the way, for Oklahoma after being shaken up earlier. Pass back to Rozier. He'll go for 5. Scott Case coming up. Jackie Shipp also assisting on the tackle. Shipp has made a handful of tackles in this first half.
Once more, we see Nebraska run to the short side of the football field. The ball is on the hash. They run into the sideline. Most college teams don't do that.
By the way, on that last carry, Rozier went over 2,000 yards for the year. 2002. He has 59 for the day.
First in the history of the Big 8.
That's right. On the 46-yard line, Gill gives to Shalene, the fullback. Rick Bryan met him, and that was the end of that issue. Third down coming up. 3rd and 2.
The longer that this Oklahoma team can stay with Nebraska, the better opportunity they have of winning. This Oklahoma defense is going to rise to the occasion. They're playing on their home field. They have less to lose than this Nebraska team. They're out there playing their hearts out, and this offense has responded here in the first half as well.
3rd down 2 for Nebraska. Swanson in motion, and we have a mix-up. Looked like somebody crossed the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. A little talking going on down there. Dean Steinkühler protecting Rozier, his bread and butter man, the franchise guy. And now things have quieted down. It's offside against Oklahoma.
It's a cheap first down.
That's right. They had 3rd and 2, so that would give them the first down. Penalties in this game. Oklahoma continuing to have some problems in that area. That, what, their 3rd one?
That's their 3rd penalty, and actually that sets a Big 8 record for most penalties during the season.
It'll be first down.
It's a dubious honor. Nebraska, on the other hand, has not been in any trouble penalty-wise, and that's one reason they're the #1 team in the country. First down now. 3:07 left in the first half. 7-7. Turner on the option. Turner-Gill. Hit down by Bryan again. They say when Bryan goes down in his stance, he's ready for war. And there was another indication of what he can do on the football field.
Maybe that's why in the first quarter they were running to the left side away from Ricky Bryan. The last 2 plays, they've run right at him.
It's hard on hairdos today, isn't it, the way it's raining down there? Second down, 6. Shalene Rozier again on the backfield. Time becoming very important on this drive. Gill. Intercepted. Picked off Benson. Thomas Benson.
The Oklahoma defense responds again. There is a flag on the field, but you're going to see Turner-Gill throwing only his 4th interception this entire year. They set it up by trying to run a fake to Mike Rozier, but there's Benson, number 38, right in front of the tight end to come up with the interception.
That's his 2nd interception of the year. As you mentioned, a penalty flag. We'll see what that's all about in a moment. But Benson has the best physical tools of all the linebackers.
You're right, his 2nd interception, tremendous speed. He's a big man, 6'2", 235 pounds, covers a lot of ground. And there's, you saw the big play, another big play by the Sooner defense.
Looks like the penalty will go against Oklahoma. They're backing up.
But I believe it was after the play.
So they'll maintain possession. We may have had a late hit on the play. So a rainy afternoon here in Owen Field, otherwise known by visiting teams as the Snake Pit. And Owen Field, the site of a battle that will determine the Big 8 championship and could be another leg up on a national championship for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. But believe you me, Nebraska's got their hands full this afternoon.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on Oklahoma. It'll be first down and 25.
That's what it was, a late hit. Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden. CBS here in force and ready and willing to bring you the conclusion of this one. This is going to be something. You can see it starting to get just a little more heated. That late hit just indicated that. Bradley back to throw on first down and 25. Wide open. Buster Rhymes. Touchdown. They have stunned the #1 team in the country. 73 yards. Bradley to Rhymes. The Sooners are in an upset mode. Point after attempt now, Tim Lasher. And an explosive Oklahoma team now leads it 14-7. 73 yards, 39 yards for touchdowns.
Tom Osborne says this Oklahoma team has as many good athletes as we do. You're going to see 2 of them right here. Danny Bradley to number 4, the split end Buster Rhymes. A pure athlete in Barry Switzer's mind, and you see why. He runs away from defenders. The ball beautifully thrown by Bradley in between defenders. A big, big play after the turnover. A very opportunistic play by the Sooner offense. Again, recall it was an interception by Turner-Gill that gave Oklahoma possession. Good protection for Danny Bradley. He drills this ball right down the gut. The much maligned Danny Bradley finds a way to come up with yet another big play to Buster Rhymes, his split end. And take a look at the reaction of Danny Bradley.
Remember, that was on a 1st and 25 because they'd been penalized 15 yards.
It's Thanksgiving weekend.
Andy Bradley, very articulate young man. Enjoyed visiting with him yesterday. He's been criticized a lot this year for being the weak link offensively, but look at his stats today.
4 of 7, the big touchdown play. That's the kind of afternoon they were hoping for. They got it.
Eicher, number 31, will kick off to Fryer. Rozier. Oklahoma with the lead, 14-7. And you can hear the reverberations all around Owen Field and maybe throughout the country.
They hear him down in Austin.
2:11 left in the first half. Another line drive affair. Tough to handle, but Rozier's got it. And he'll bring it out to the 27-yard line. Scott Case again. There's the man that caught the 73-yard strike. Rhymes, a pure athlete. And then there's always the other side. The best in college sports right here on CBS. And Owen Field, the site of a classic. The 64th meeting between the Huskers and Sooners. Shalene, Rozier in the backfield. Fryer in motion. Turner Gill, and going to his knees and cradling the ball is Ricky Simmons. That'll be a first down.
We talked about how confident this Nebraska team is. On the play previous, Turner Gill had thrown an interception. Right back on the field, the first play, a pass. He completes it to Ricky Simmons.
Line of scrimmage, the 42. 1:54 left in the first half. That's Fryer in motion at the bottom of the screen. Turner Gill gonna run it. And he has a lot of running room. First down at the 40, 35, 30. He's to the 20. He's to the 18. A 40-yard run by Turner Gill.
What an athlete Turner Gill is. Again, Barry Switzer said there's no way to defend this. You have to hope that you're going to keep Turner Gill in the pocket. There's nowhere to throw the ball, so he uses his athletic instincts, the impromptu play, and he's got plenty of instincts right there, believe me, as he picks up a big play, a big first down inside the 20-yard line.
Did you see who threw the block then? That was Rozier behind Gill that threw an amazing block and around the 25-yard line. First down at the 18. Rozier will make it to the 15-yard line. Jackie Shipp on the tackle for Oklahoma. 1:26. Now Nebraska has all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
The elusive skill of Turner Gill on one play, and then right back to the power football behind Mike Rozier. Boy,
this has been some explosion, hasn't it? 39-yard run, a 73-yard completion, a 40-yard run. 2nd and 7 from the 15. Gill complete to Fryer. That'll be a 1st and goal. Sonny Brown on the stop, a touchdown saving tackle.
The triplets of Nebraska. We saw Turner Gill. We saw Mike Rozier. Now watch Irving Fryer. Turner Gill drills this football. There's no way that Irving Fryer can miss this pass. It's right in his numbers. A beautiful throw. Gives Nebraska first down inside the 5-yard line.
I think Oklahoma got Nebraska's attention, don't you? 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Pitch back, Rozier. Touchdown. Touchdown of his career. And the man shaken up for Oklahoma, that's Jackie Shipp. I should say his 29th touchdown of the season. I think I said career.
But believe it or not, that is Mike Rozier's first touchdown ever against the Oklahoma Sooners.
That is an amazing. Here you are, you're trailing 14-7. They did not panic. They just went after Oklahoma. And now a chance to tie it up with 42 seconds. It's a reason they've been #1 all year long. They've had that pressure to play with. Livingston, the point after attempt. And Livingston hits it dead center. It's tied up, 14 all. That was a 73-yard drive in 5 plays and took only 1 minute and 29 seconds.
We saw a little bit of everything on that drive, but we saw a lot of Mike Rozier off the right side of the blocks of Dean Steinfuller and Scott Raritan, 2 all Big 8 performers. You see Mike Rozier able to cut inside as the defense overruns the play, but the drive was the culmination of a 5-play drive. You saw the big scramble by Turner Gill. We saw 2 passes by Turner Gill. We saw power of Mike Rozier, and there's the result. 6 points for Nebraska.
The man with the inside track on the Heisman, Mike Rozier, with his 29th touchdown of the season. A man who many people feel is one of the greatest running backs in the history of the Big 8 Conference. Nebraska will kick off. 42 seconds left, and this crowd is stunned. They saw the Sooners take that lead on that impressive touchdown pass, and all of a sudden, Nebraska came roaring back, and they're just sitting here almost in disbelief.
Well, they have to be entertained, if nothing else.
Isn't that the truth? Back deep now will be Shepard and Rhymes. Rhymes having a big day. He has 3 catches for 127 yards. That's a season for some guys. This will be Shepard. Shepard's got an alley, and boy, he had some opening over there if that tackle had not been made at the 24-yard line by Dan Casterline. So with 36 seconds, this issue right now deadlocked. Oklahoma will set it up. Look at this, and we still have another half to go.
We promised you some offense, and you're seeing plenty of it.
I think the surprising stat, though, is how much passing yardage of Oklahoma. Now, average yards on first down.
12 or nearly 13 yards for Oklahoma. That is absolutely phenomenal.
Of course, that 73-yard strike helped a little bit. That was on a first down at 25. There is Earl Johnson. Doug Herman, 63, made the stop. So Oklahoma now will be very conservative. Kill the remaining time in this first half. Well, Pat, the smoke has cleared for a moment here. What do you think?
It's been a half of big plays, and actually the Oklahoma defense played as well as we expected, but Danny Bradley's played very well. The big passes to Buster Rhymes, of course, Mike Rozier and Turner Gill have not disappointed anybody. So it has been as we expected. These teams are 2 teams of big plays. We got that in the first half.
Well, it's been so tough to win here in Norman. Nebraska knows that. Bob Devaney found that out for many years. Now Tom Osborne. Right now, it's all even. 14 all. We'll be back with Brennan Era from New York with scores and highlights after this word about an upcoming show on CBS. Nebraska with Johnny Rodgers, who would eventually win the Heisman Trophy. This brilliant return against Oklahoma. Nebraska winning that game, going on to the national championship. And the man was Bob Devaney, now the athletic director at Nebraska, and joining us at halftime. Bob, that was a lot of pressure in 71. You can identify with this game.
It sure was, Gary. It was a game similar to this one, except we were a little worse off. We went behind at the half. Just before the half, we went behind, had to come back to win it. At least we're tied at this stage.
You feel like the momentum switched back just before the end of the first half?
I think when Nebraska engineered that touchdown drive with about 2 minutes to go, I think it swung the momentum back to us, and hopefully we'll carry it on. We're receiving the kickoff, and we should have the win the last quarter. It should help.
Bob, this team is compared to 71.
It's very, very comparable. I think this team is better offensively, definitely. Defense, there might be some question.
You've said many times that offensively you can't be much more explosive than this Nebraska team.
This is the greatest offensive team, Gary, I've ever seen on a football field.
Johnny Rodgers, Mike Rozier, what comparisons can you make there?
Well, they're different kind of a runner. Johnny was a pass receiver and a specialty runner. Mike's an all-around high back. Johnny was a wing back. Johnny and Fryer are a lot alike. Rozier's in a class by himself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bob Devaney. Two national champions in Nebraska, one in 1971, and now Tom Osborne trying to win his first national championship. Deadlocked at halftime, 14-all. Fleischer getting ready to kick off. Rozier, Fryer back for the Cornhuskers. That's Jeff Smith instead, and Smith will bring it out, and he's out to the 27-yard line. Now let's look at some of the key faces for the Nebraska offense.
Turner Gill had the big scramble there near the end of the first half, throwing the football for 44 yards. Mike Rozier, 17 carries, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. And Irving Fryer had 1 rush for 21 yards, 2 receptions for 21 yards. And Dean Steinkuhler, we talked about him. He has led the way for Mike Rozier today.
That offensive line really did the job at the end of that first half, mentioning Steinkuhler, and they're ready to go again. Turner Gill back to Rozier, and he'll make it to the 30-yard line. Pick up a 3. Now defensively, the keys for Oklahoma.
Rick Bryan, we've called his number a lot today. Early in the first quarter, they ran away from him, but he still made some big plays. Kevin Murphy got hurt, but he came back and came up with some big plays himself. And Thomas Benson, we saw him make a couple of big plays, the big interception as well.
Set up that interception and the touchdown eventually that ensued. Turner Gill now with a second down. Let's make it a long 7 to go. Rozier got some running room. He has a first down out to the 45-yard line. Rick Bryan eventually caught up with him. Turner Gill kind of like a card dealer out there, just dealing the football off. 80 yards now for Mike Rozier.
The first play of the second half, we saw Rozier run a power play to the short side of the field. The second play, here's phase 2 of their offense, the option play. Turner Gill down the line of scrimmage, waits to the last possible moment, then pitches the ball to Mike Rozier. But again, that's what makes Nebraska so tough to defend. They give you power, then option.
First down now from the 45-yard line. Fryer in motion. Back to Rozier again. 2 yards, maybe 3 at the most. Running behind Reardon and Steinkuhler. Darrell Goodlow will make the tackle for Oklahoma. Oklahoma defensively was the #1 team in the country, or I should say in the Big 8 against rushing, holding teams to 91 yards. And the #1 team defensively in the Big 8 in total defense. 5th in the nation. 2nd and 7. Now in at fullback. Gill takes the pitch, and he's into Oklahoma's into the field at the 47. Paul Miliazzo, number 42, making the stop. It'll be 3rd and 3 now.
Let's take a look at Dean Steinkuhler, the All-American. As you mentioned, the only returning starter from last year's offensive line. But watch him lock the defensive man up there of Oklahoma, really clear the way. That is why Nebraska has had so much success running the football this season. Dean Steinkuhler.
Pat, they don't rebuild, they just reload up front. They just redshirt some more big guys and bring them in. 3rd and 3. Gill keeping, and he's not going to get it. Miliazzo again on the stop. And the Nebraska team will have to punt the football. So that's got to give this Oklahoma defense a shot in the arm after giving up that touchdown at the end of the first half.
The first series, both offensively and defensively for a team in each half, is so critical. Oklahoma's defense has done its job. They're forcing Nebraska to punt. That's a victory in itself.
Livingston will kick. Scott Case is back for the Sooners, and he hit it very high, and the wind has really caught this one. Fair catch, and almost fumbled. Sonny Brown was the guy who came up with it. You might recall last year, Oklahoma fumbled a punt in that game in Lincoln. It really cost him. This time they come up with it, a 23-yard punt.
We've talked a little bit about Danny Bradley. When we look at the key faces of the Oklahoma offense, there he is, 4 of 7, 144 yards, 1 touchdown, had an outstanding first half. Spencer Tillman, 8 carries, 101 yards, and a big touchdown run. Earl Johnson, 11 carries for 28 yards.
And so from the 24, Oklahoma first opportunity with the football in the second half. Ledbetter, Johnson in the backfield along with Sewell. That's Sewell in motion. Johnson across the 25 to the 27. Bill Weber defensively made the stop. Let's look at the keys defensively for Nebraska.
in the defensive line. We talked about Scott Strasburger. He had the big interception last year. In the first half, he played well, making a couple of big plays. Mike Knox, we saw Spencer Tillman run right by Knox. He didn't have the big first half we expected. And Mark Dahm, he's the other inside linebacker. Spencer Tillman's given both of those linebackers some trouble on the inside.
2nd down and 7 now for Oklahoma. Bradley on the keeper. And he'll be wrapped up by McCashlin. Number 2, a tough monster man who roams around defensively for Nebraska, and it'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Even though Oklahoma doesn't run the wishbone, they are still an option team. Watch Danny Bradley as they fakes the ball to Jerome Ledbetter right there, comes down as reads the block, is trying to get the ball pitched, but that's good defense by number 2, Mike McCashlin of the Nebraska Cornhusker defense.
The old bear hug, and he couldn't get rid of it. On 3rd downs now in this game, Oklahoma's had to go 10.1 yards. Now they have to go 7. 3rd and 7. Johnson. Boy, he had some running room, and all of a sudden McCashlin straightened him up with a tackle at the 30-yard line. It's 4th down. McCashlin out of Lincoln.
Another one of those walk-ons that we've talked about. Actually, Nebraska has 6 walk-ons of the starting 22.
Well, they save scholarships for those guys.
And they're patient. They wait around.
And that's what Tom Osborne said. A lot of people say, well, redshirt, but then they don't have the patience to work the program out. Ataya to kick. Fryer and Smith back, and it takes an Oklahoma bounce. Oh, what a kick this is going to be. At the 1-yard line. Mitch Bryan, Rick Bryan's brother, was down there to down the ball. A 67-yard punt, and now from the 1, Nebraska has it.
Who makes the best free?
Irving Fryer really did not have an opportunity to field this ball. It takes a strange bounce off the AstroTurf right over Irving Fryer's head. The ball rolls down to the 1-yard line, and Nebraska is going to have terrible field position. 99 yards to go.
That was officially recorded as a 68-yard punt. A bad hop to the shortstop. Couldn't come up with it. Give to Shalene, and Shalene will get a yard maybe. Rick Bryan. Boy, that is tough company inside on that play. Kevin Murphy also. Rick Bryan getting up a little slowly. Quite a collision inside.
Take a look at number 80, Ricky Bryan. We talked about him, what a kind of a big first half he is. He is not blocked there. You don't want to do that to Ricky Bryan, because when it's tough enough to block him with 2 or 3 men, but when you don't block him, he's going to make a lot of tackles.
A country boy who can play football with the best of them. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Gill going to throw. It's caught, dropped. Scott Kimball had it for a moment. Jim Rockford defending on a play, just a little underthrown.
Some people suggest this is the best area of the football field to throw the ball, because there's so much territory to defend. Turner Gill elects to go to the ball deep. He has Scott Kimball open, but the ball is a little bit underthrown into the inside, but very, very catchable as you look at it. Scott Kimball had a chance to catch that and probably should have.
You're right. 3rd and 8. Johnson in motion. Rozier. And it's going to be 4th down.
The Oklahoma defense has had 2 opportunities to defend Mike Rozier this half. Both times they've won the battle. Mike Rozier on the power play, the play that he's run for over 2,000 yards this season. But the Oklahoma defense stiffens, bows its necks, and stop Rozier short of the 1st down, forcing Nebraska to punt.
And what's difficult here is that they don't have a lot of room to punt the ball, and they're kicking into the wind. Livingston to boot it out of there. And he got a pretty good kick underway with all those circumstances. Scott Case, fair catch. Whoa, that was a shaky moment. 36-yard kick, and give a lot of credit to Livingston, number 48. He kicked it under pressure and into the wind. But good field position for Oklahoma. They have it at the Nebraska 43-yard line. 8:52 left to go in the third quarter. Earlier, Texas, impressive win. And Georgia, who will meet Texas in the Cotton Bowl, winning their game, and Arkansas finishing with a winning season. Tennessee over Vanderbilt, third quarter. And Arizona in Tempe, leading Arizona State in the third quarter. From the 43, gives to Johnson. He had some running room, converts it into a gain to the 39. Neil Harris made the stop. Pat, you can't say enough for that offensive line. They're giving him some running room up there.
And that was one of the big question marks today coming into this game, how well Oklahoma's offensive line would hold up against this Nebraska defense. As you mentioned, they've done a very nice job. We've seen some big blocks, allowed Spencer Tillman and Earl Johnson to jump through those.
Gain on that last play of 4, 2nd and 6. This drive, the best field position Oklahoma's ever started with in this game. Give this time to Tillman. And Tillman's a couple of yards short of the first down. He's at the 35. Ken Graber, the nose guard, making the stop for Nebraska. 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2, Oklahoma's type of game. 3rd and 7 is not. But this is where Oklahoma is tough.
Oklahoma would like to do something in this quarter with the wind to their back. Danny Bradley has 2 men coming in with a play. Buster Rhymes will leave. Getting up. Oh, what a collision. Earl Johnson. I don't know that he got it. I don't think he did. He looked like he might, and all of a sudden he was belted backwards by Mark Dahm, number 51.
Well, you are right. Mark Dahm comes in and greets Earl Johnson. Watch again the center, Chuck Thomas, number 73, try to clear a path for Earl Johnson. There's no room there as Mark Dahm, number 51, is going to come in there and keep him from gaining the first down. Terrific defensive play by Dahm.
That's the way you teach tackling, isn't it? And now Oklahoma has asked for a timeout. It's 4th down, a yard to go. The Sooners, a critical stage of the game. 7:08 left in the third quarter. 4th down and 1 when we return. Last time Oklahoma called timeout, they called a play and went 39 yards for a touchdown. Now on a 4th and 1, Barry Switzer is ready. They're at the line of scrimmage. Johnson, and Bradley keeps on it. What a fake. First down.
You're right, Gary. He faked everybody out, including us.
16-yard keeper by Danny Bradley. And I think most of the people here thought that Johnson had the ball.
Well, the Nebraska defense did. I did, too. It's a great call on 4th and 1. You see the whole Nebraska defense still think Earl Johnson has the ball. Meanwhile, Danny Bradley, using 4.4 speed, gets to the outside. Not only picks up a first down, but picks up 16 yards.
But Oklahoma's called 2 timeouts, and they've called 2 sterling plays. Both of them, one of them producing a touchdown, and this one a first down. First down at the 19. Spencer Tillman may get a yard. That's all. Scott Strasburger out of Holdridge, Nebraska. A walk-on who had a chance to go to Dartmouth on some financial aids scholastically. An outstanding student at all Big 8 academic pick.
It shows you kind of the commitment the kids in the small towns in Nebraska have to the University of Nebraska. To turn down a scholarship to go to Dartmouth. He came to Nebraska, walked on, and now he's starring for them.
2nd down and 9 for Oklahoma. Puts to Tillman. Look at the speed. To the 10. 5. Touchdown.
Did you see that leap?
Tillman looked like he was launched as he took it in. Remarkable athlete.
That's incredible.
18-yard touchdown run. Spencer Tillman with his 2nd touchdown of the day. Dave Burke has been shaken up for Nebraska. That drive, 43 yards in 6 plays. Oklahoma with the lead for the second time in this game.
Let's take a look at the touchdown. Spencer Tillman does his Joe Washington imitation as he comes and picks up a big block by Derek Shepard. But watch this, from about the 5-yard line, he's up and over. It's an Olympic year. The high jump into the end zone.
Pat, I have never seen anybody leap that far. Have you?
Once other time I saw Joe Washington, but watch number 3. Here is the key. Derek Shepard in motion. He is going to come down and clear the way for Spencer Tillman right there on Strasburger number 90. That allowed Tillman to get outside.
Point after attempt now by Lasher, and Lasher hits it. Oklahoma 21, Nebraska 14.
The athletic ability of this Oklahoma team. We've seen Buster Rhymes, we've seen Spencer Tillman twice, but watch and enjoy this.
Spencer Tillman looking like a long jumper. Took it in for the touchdown. Spencer Tillman, the Big 8 newcomer of the year out of Tulsa. He knows what this Oklahoma-Nebraska Classic has been through the years and what a factor he's become. Spencer Tillman with that remarkable play. Now, Nebraska thought he had fumbled, but the rule is if you break the plane of the goal line, it doesn't matter what happens to the football. Now, see, it will come out here, but it's a dead issue.
He had already crossed the plane of the goal line. That's 6 points for Oklahoma. What an athletic play, though.
Tillman, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Short kick picked up by Jeff Smith, and the Wichita junior brings it out to the 35-yard line. This is such a remarkable play, we can't leave it alone. Let's go look at it again. It's something.
This will spice up your Thanksgiving weekend.
See Neil Harris, he couldn't believe it that he went over him like that. He just disappeared from his view. Nebraska in a catch-up situation for the second time. They trailed earlier 14-7, now 21-14. Turner Gill. Back to Rozier. Here we go. 40, 30, 20, and he is not going to make it in. He's at about the 1. Let's see where they're going to mark it.
Will it ever stop? Unbelievable offense.
62 yards.
Take this, Spencer Tillman. That's what Mike Rozier says, the option play. Picks up a nice block by Shalene. Then it's a foot race, a beautiful cutback there. He can do so many different things to beat you. Tries to keep his balance, runs out on about the 2-yard line. The cutback on number 10, Scott Case. He can power you, he can outrun you, but he can make you miss there too.
Rozier with that 62-yard run sets it up at the 3. He now has 149 yards on the day. Here's a give to Shalene. He'll take it. Very close. They're not going to give him a touchdown, though. Be at about the half-yard line.
That was the play that Mark Shalene scored on early in the game, right there. A little inside trap. Take another look at it. Early in the game, you run Mike Rozier. We saw in the first quarter Mark Shalene run the same little trap play for the 7-yard touchdown run. Here he picks up about 2 or 3 down to the 1.
Actually at the half-yard line. 2nd and goal there. Turner Gill sneaking. He's in. Touchdown. This game is fast becoming a one-upsmanship type situation. You score, we're going to come right back at you. Twice, Nebraska, after being down, has roared in a hurry to touchdowns. Turner Gill caps that drive, and now the important point after Livingston to try to tie it up. Where that wind's blowing, point after is going into that end of the field is no sure thing.
The kicker for Nebraska leads the team in minutes played. He's kicked so many extra points.
11 straight 100-yard days now for Mike Rozier. The kick is good, and it's all even again. 21-all. Let's go back and look at the man who everyone figures will have the Heisman Trophy awarded to him.
As you mentioned, his 11th straight 100-yard day. It ties an NCAA record. Here's a man, only second man in NCAA history to ever run for over 2,000 yards. And you can see why. If a multinational corporation, Gary, had legs, it looked like Mike Rozier. And here is the result of that outstanding run by Mike Rozier. Here's the touchdown. Turner Gill over Dean Steinkuhler.
Do you realize we still have 5:25 to play in the third quarter? This is a shootout. It's a classic, and it's all even.
Test pilot cut.
Nebraska took 57 seconds on that last drive to tie it up. Mike Swanson, our statistician, pointed out that in Nebraska's game-time touchdowns, they took 1:29, and this last one, 57 seconds. It's almost like, hey, quit messing around with us. We're the #1 team in the country. Oklahoma is playing very, very well. Derek Shepard. Shepard will not make it to the 20-yard line. Kevin Parsons, a freshman, one of 3 that they added to the defense this year, or this week, made the stop. All right, a doubleheader of football on CBS. The 49ers, we talked about how explosive they are, tied for the lead in the West against the Bears and Walter Payton. And then in the feature doubleheader, the Packers. What a battle they're having in that NFL Central Division. They meet the Atlanta Falcons. Other regional action, all starting with the NFL today. Be with us tomorrow right here on CBS. Oklahoma with not the good field position. They're going to try a reverse to Shepard, who wants to throw, but he can't get rid of it because Doug Herman was there. A gambling move by Barry Switzer backfires.
The discipline of the Nebraska defense. You're going to see the reverse. They're trying to fool the Nebraska defense. But Doug Herman, 63, stays at home as he is supposed to and puts the stop there on Derek Shepard. You saw him slip. He was trying to pull up in front of Doug Herman to throw the football. But Doug Herman was right where he was supposed to play. Disciplined defense.
Pat, it looked to me like Shepard had slipped. He might have gotten the ball off. Berryhill, his tight end, was open. But that's a big if. And a loss on the play. It's now 2nd down, 21. Give to Tillman, and Tillman will get it back out close to the 10-yard line. Mike Tramner, the nose guard, made the stop. 76,000, a capacity crowd in the Snake Pit. Owen Field, Norman, Oklahoma. The battle for the national championship. Nebraska, Oklahoma. An explosion of football, and it's all even. Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden, and we still have 4 minutes left in this third quarter.
Nothing but big plays.
3rd and 18 now for Oklahoma. Ledbetter, Tillman in the backfield. Bradley to throw. Got the wind to his back and overthrows everybody. Dave Burke the closest. Buster Rhymes the intended receiver. They're going to have to punt, and they're going to have to punt from their own end zone. Burke is the guy they like to have back on those long plays. He covers the deep play very well and did there. Jeff Smith, Irving Pryor will go back to receive the punt from Ataya. No rush. Hit it with the wind to his back. Jeff Smith, and he'll make it to the 41 of Oklahoma. 41-yard kick, 9-yard punt return. Mike Mantle, related to Mickey Mantle, making the stop. And now Nebraska with excellent field position. The thing you got to realize, Pat, is in that fourth quarter, Nebraska will have that win. And it is really gusting now, blowing as you see it from right to left on the screen. Turner Gill to Shalene, and Shalene will make it to the 36-yard line. Rick Bryan making the stop. That'll bring up 2nd down. 6 yards to go. Offensive line with Steinkuhler, Reardon, big, 280, 270. Trainowitz at center, weighs 260. Greminger, 260. Penny's 290. They're huge. Gill on a keeper. And good coverage by Scott Case. The intended receiver was Monty Ingebrigtsen. Gill really took a pretty good shot that time when he got rid of the football.
Well, the punishment a quarterback takes, a lot of fans don't see it after he releases the football. There was excellent pressure on Turner Gill, which really caused the incompletion. You see him rolling out on 2nd and 7. He does get rid of the football, but there's Brian Hall, number 21, to put the hit on Gill after he releases the ball.
Gill now 4 of 13 for 44 yards. No yards in the second half thus far. 3rd and 5. Gill to keep. And he's very close to the first down. Tom Flemons, number 93, nose guard out of Altus, Oklahoma, making the stop.
Classic, excuse me, Gary, classic Nebraska football. Watch the pulling guard in front of Turner Gill. He steps back, allows number 58, Grimminger, to come out and lead Turner Gill on the option play. Turner jumps inside, trying to pick up 3 or 4 yards. Is very close to the first down, but again, into the boundary marker. Nebraska is so very strong.
They are going to measure to see if they did in fact get the first down, and they did.
Turner Gill on 3rd down is remarkable.
He just seemed to have a sixth sense about to keep it that time.
And he always knows where the marker is.
Starting to rain again. It rained some in the first half, had subsided for some time, and now Tom Osborne, his team on the move. Oklahoma, second half, had a little trouble. Here is Rozier. Stanberry making the stop. Line of scrimmage will be at the 27-yard line.
But you see how Nebraska can mix it up. You can see Turner Gill scramble. You can see Turner Gill roll out. You can see him run the option play. Then, boom, they come right back with some power football. Mike Rozier over Steinkuhler.
This is one of those games where you just can't relax if you're playing on defense.
Tom Osborne, marvelous job of taking advantage of all his team's talents.
Second down, 6. Fryer set in motion, and they're going to reverse it. Nope, they faked it. Rozier will keep it. They've got a lot of wrinkles, don't they? It'll be 3rd down now. Murphy making the stop, 3rd and 2. That's what we said at the top of the show, that they'll play very, very basic football, but they always have a surprise or two for you.
And they make you to defend the entire football field, and again, all their talents, Fryer, Rozier, Gill.
The triplets. That's what Barry kept saying. Barry Switzer said, we call them the triplets. 3rd and 2. Pitch back to Rozier, diving, and he's got the first down. To the 20-yard line, Jackie Shipp again making the stop. Again, Oklahoma would like to get this ball while the wind's to their back. And this quarter now with 1:27 remaining in it.
The Nebraska offense is doing a very nice job of consuming the clock, as you mentioned, Gary, and keeping the ball away from a very hot Oklahoma offense right now. A big play Oklahoma offense.
Rozier now with 160 yards. 1 touchdown.
Believe it or not, that's less than his average. The average is 177 yards a game.
But we have another quarter. This time, Mike will carry up the middle. He'll get to the 18-yard line. Nothing fancy about the last 2 or 3 plays. Coming right at him. Kevin Murphy making a stop again with a minute coming up on this 3rd quarter. Other times, Tom Osborne has gone up against Barry Switzer with unbeaten teams, did not win the games. Today, he'd like to end that. Shalene to the 10. Shalene is touchdown. Out of school for a couple of years. He transferred from the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Showed his strength on that play. They just couldn't keep him out of the end zone.
And his speed, 225 pounds, yet he runs a 4.5 40.
Fastest fullback they've ever had. 2 touchdowns for Shalene, and Nebraska now with a 28-21 lead.
Take a look at the Dean Steinkuhler, the All-American guard, as he pulls and leads the way for Mark Shalene. Oklahoma, when you get to worried about Mike Rozier and Irving Fryer and Turner Gill, then they give the ball to Mark Shalene right up the gut. Steinkuhler pulls, gave him a nice block. He gives the old-fashioned stiff arm and is very much determined to get in the end zone, which he did. Another look at Steinkuhler, number 71, the All-American, as he pulls and clears his way on 46. Darrell Goodlow, that is his job. Watch his reaction. He knows what's going to happen. When you're an offensive lineman, this is what you dream about, touchdowns.
Well, last year, Dave Remington won the Outland and the Lombardi trophies. Steinkuhler is one of the finalists. And there's Mark Shalene. They say he was about 30 pounds overweight, started lifting. He has tried to keep up with the triplets and has done a pretty good job of it.
But again, it's to emphasize what the job that Tom Osborne has done to be able to use his talents as well as the triplets.
28-21, 35 seconds left now in the third quarter. Can Oklahoma come back again? Livingston to Shepard. Check that. It's Buster Rhymes, and Rhymes brings it out to the 23-yard line. Well, Pat, we're looking forward to being in El Paso on Christmas Eve for the Sun Bowl, and Alabama, the Crimson Tide, against the Mustangs of SMU.
Well, SMU has not gotten the respect they deserve. They're 9-1, and Bobby Collins has done an unbelievable job.
Also on CBS, December 30th, the Peach Bowl, Florida State, the Seminoles, and Georgia, Texas on January 2nd, the Cotton Bowl. All of them here on CBS. From the 23-yard line, Bradley on first down, wanting to throw, is going to scramble out of there. He's got some running room, and he's very close to the first down. Mike Knox able to roll him out, and both Gill and Bradley have some interesting characteristics, very similar characteristics.
The impromptu play, you can't defend it, but looks like Oklahoma here was trying to take advantage of the last few seconds of the wind advantage that they have here. 21 seconds left in the third quarter. They have a pretty good wind behind them. They're playing catch-up football, and they want to use that wind best they can.
With 21 seconds left, we're like two heavyweight fighters towing off, slugging it out of the middle of the ring, throwing everything they got at each other. The rain continues to fall. That was about a yard short of the first down. And trying to pick up the first down is Spencer Tillman. Mike Dahm will make the stop on Tillman.
We've seen two excellent offenses here today. Nebraska has rushed so far today in 3 quarters for a total of 304 yards. They average 405. Oklahoma has rushed for 180 yards on the ground.
They're going to have to measure to see if Tillman was able to pick up that first down. 17 seconds left in the third quarter. And they've got it. First down for the Sooners. So they'll be starting the fourth quarter with a football unless something happens on this next play. And again, with 17 seconds with a wind to their back. You can see the rain continuing to fall. Pretty well-played football game with the kind of weather we've had.
You're absolutely right, but it makes it a little bit more difficult to play catch-up football in this kind of weather.
Oklahoma's been a better catch-up team, though, with this offense that they have now. And wait a minute. They're going to stop everything because the third quarter has come to a close. The score, Nebraska 28, Oklahoma 21. Nebraska-Oklahoma is an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this message and a word from your local station. Raining harder than it's ever been raining since the start of this football game. It subsided for a while, and it's really coming down now. Oklahoma going into the wind. They have a first down to start this fourth quarter. Earl Johnson, and Johnson gets some yardage, a chunk or two, as Earl Johnson stopped by Neil Harris. Interesting stats. Passing has not really been prevalent, has it, in the second half?
Neither team completed a pass there in the third quarter. Total yards, 348. Rushing yards, 304. Nebraska's right on schedule. We said they average 405 yards rushing in the game. That leads the country.
You would figure that Nebraska would have the better of it in passing. But it hasn't been that way today. Oklahoma with 100 yards more. Second down, 5 yards to go. Boy, it is really coming down now. In motion, Sewell. Give to Ledbetter, and Ledbetter's got a first down. Mike Knox made the stop. Danny Bradley running over, getting another towel. He's having a tough time keeping his hands dry.
Take another look at the center, Chuck Thomas, number 73, against Ken Graber, number 52. He ties him up enough to allow Ledbetter to get right by for the first down. That's a good block by Thomas, the center.
Boy, Pat, you got to be so careful now as a quarterback. The wet ball going into the wind.
Playing catch-up, it's tough.
Danny Bradley going to throw if he can, and no chance. Bill Weber was there. That's a big play. That moves them all the way back to the 31-yard line.
Do you think he's excited? Danny Bradley trying to bring his team from behind out on the perimeter of the defense. Nobody's open. He gets pulled up, tries to change directions, but Bill Weber, number 87, ran him down from behind. There's nowhere for Bradley to go. Big defensive play by the Cornhuskers.
There are about 5 white shirts back there with him. There's Bill Weber out of Lincoln. Outstanding student.
Academic All-American.
So at the 31 is where they mark it. They've got to go all the way to the 44 of Nebraska to get a first down. That means they're 24 yards away. Bradley fakes it. He's going to try to run it. And he's doing a pretty good job of that. Moves it out close to the 40-yard line. So he gets some of it back. Brett Clark, the free safety, over to knock him out of bounds. Going to bring up third down and still 20 yards to go. Make it 16. Bradley playing with a lot of confidence. We talked about Turner Gill, how confident he is. I've had the feeling that Bradley's probably playing the best game of his career.
As we said, he came in throwing the ball on a 42% completion clip. He's had a big day here.
3rd and 16. Got time to throw. It's complete, and that would be enough. Let's see where they mark it. That will be enough for the first down. Shepard caught it. 16 yards. See where they marked it? Just ahead of the chain. He was drilled backwards, but his forward progress got him the first down.
But give Derek Shepard credit for running the right route at the proper depth. Danny Bradley, under adverse circumstances, it's raining, the wind's in his face, throws the ball in between 2 defenders to Derek Shepard. And again, Shepard did a wonderful job of running the route at the right depth, just enough depth to pick up the first down.
Boy, that was difficult in every way. You mentioned the rain and the wind and a right-hander running left to throw. It was everything against him, but he got it done. First down, Shepard with a 16-yard catch, and it is just raining as hard as it can possibly rain right now. And so Oklahoma wants to call a timeout. They have 1 left. There's still 12:49 left in the game. The Sooners have a first down.
John Hausman for the investment firm of Smith Barney.
Being born with a silver spoon in one's mouth is not enough. How quickly it can tarnish in today's topsy-turvy economy. When it comes to growth and the preservation of capital, many prudent investors look to Smith Barney. Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
2 new smash hits from Atari.
Come on down to Hank's Tanks. We're wheeling, we're dealing. Look at this little cream puff.
Don't buy a tank from anyone until you've seen Battlezone from Atari. There are other tank games, but for color, graphics, and action, Battlezone is tough to beat. And don't buy anybody's race car until you test drive Pole Position. It's this year's #1 arcade hit, and it's just hit home. Battlezone and Pole Position, new from Atari.
Saturday, it's Clint Eastwood, Sunderlock, and Clyde.
GM's all my business.
Football, because we've got some outstanding cameramen, and they are braving the elements now. Let me tell you, it's raining so hard, Pat, we can hardly see the field. Look at it. Now, the last 2 times Oklahoma called timeout, they called a very good play. 1 for a touchdown and 1 for a big first down.
They've come up with some very big plays coming out of timeouts. Let's see what they do here.
But they only have 1 left, and that could haunt them before this day is over. Danny Bradley, and that play did not work.
No magic on that one.
Bill Weber was there. Weber playing a whale of a game in the second half. Earl Johnson carrying, didn't get much, if anything.
And you brought up an interesting point. They used their second timeout, only one remaining with 12 minutes, more than 12 minutes left in the game. That may end up costing them.
Bill Weber, the junior. He wants the national championship, as does this entire Nebraska team. There's water standing everywhere now on the football field. This turf, they say, though, holds up pretty well under these kinds of conditions. It's going to be put to the test. There's a give to Tillman, trying to get outside, and he had Strausberger hanging on to him, and he wouldn't let go. Third down.
If you watched the Alabama-Boston College game yesterday in the rain, you saw those teams have such trouble hanging on to the football. Here, it's important for both of these teams to recognize the kind of elements they're playing in and secure the football, secure the handoffs. Hold on to the football so you don't give a team a turnover and a cheap score.
We tried to see that game. The Transformer didn't allow us to. Hope the Transformers hold up here today. 11:37 left of the game. It's 3rd and 10 now for Oklahoma. Rain died down just a little bit. Bradley throwing deep. Lewis broken up by Burke. Dave Burke, excellent inside coverage on Paul Lewis. And they're going to have to kick the football.
You called it good coverage by Dave Burke and the whole Nebraska defense. And actually, the ball is not badly thrown by Danny Bradley. Again, considering the conditions, Dave Burke has Paul Lewis well covered. There's no room there to catch that ball.
Bradley is throwing the ball extremely well under these conditions. Ataya will kick again. He's averaging 46 yards, but this time with the wind and the rain. Good snap. And they're going to like this. It's bouncing inside the 10, and that is reminiscent of an earlier kick. Remember, they had it at the 1 earlier? This is a 42-yarder. And so this time, Nebraska at their own 2, protecting a 7-point lead. 11:10 to go in Norman.
A lot of good.
Tom Osborne was concerned whether his football team can play an entire 4 quarters. Remember, they have blown people out all season long. Only once against Oklahoma State has his offense play the entire football game. There's still 11 minutes left in this one.
And they are backed up at the 2. Turner Gill gives to Rozier, protecting the football, able to wedge it out to the 4. The last time that Oklahoma backed him up to the 1, you might recall, Nebraska had to end up punting, and Oklahoma scored on it.
In wet, rainy conditions, it's so critical that the quarterback secure the snap from center. The quarterback has to stay underneath the center a little bit longer than he normally would to make sure that he has the wet ball.
It's not raining really very hard right now, but the damage has been done. The surface down there is just soaked. 2nd down, 8. Rozier again. Rozier out across the 10, very close to the 1st down. Helping people up after he ran over him. Jackie Shipp made the stop. Barry Switzer would like to get the football as they come now to a measurement. They're going to have to measure.
This is 4th quarter. National championship time. Here's when the Mike Roziers, the Turner Gills, the Irving Fryers, the seniors, the Dean Steinkuhlers have to step to the plate and really do their job. If Nebraska can control this clock, come down with 10.5 minutes left here in the 4th quarter and get some sort of score on the board, it's going to make it extremely difficult for Oklahoma.
Well, you've played on a national championship team. You get into these situations, don't you?
And here again is where the confidence. This Nebraska team is so confident. We spent some time with them. It's an air about them. They walk around like they expect to beat people. And sometimes it's catching.
Well, and 2 times they fell behind, and you saw how quickly they came back. It's almost like they got their hair up on the back of their neck. So the measurement indicated just short. 3rd down. Rozier, and here he goes. 30. 1st down, 33. They needed inches, and they got 22 yards.
Watch Mike Rozier on 3rd and inches. Everybody expects him to go inside. He bounces off tackle, picks up a block by Ricky Simmons. A big play on 3rd and inches. But watch number 49, Jackie Shipp. He takes a chance. It's 3rd and inches. He's guessing quarterback sneak. He guessed wrong.
194 yards. Mike Rozier 6 yards away from his, what, 4th straight 200-yard day. Nebraska asks for a timeout. They have 2 remaining. Nebraska out of a hole. Nebraska, the pressure's been on them all year long. They've been ranked number 1, the nation's longest unbeaten streak, but they have met everything thrown at them. They have played well under pressure today, but there's still 10-15 to go. They have a 7-point lead, first down at their own 32. Mike Rozier approaching 200 yards, out to the 35. Tough yardage. Thomas Benson making the tackle.
The big play we saw Rozier make just a few moments ago on 3rd and inches was so critical because Oklahoma had them backed up in the shadow of their goalpost. They started down there on the 2-yard line, and Rozier broke it outside for a big play in the first down. Had he not made the first down, Nebraska would have had a punt. Oklahoma would have had the ball in very good field position.
As you just saw on your screen, 4 straight 200-yard days. What an athlete. 2nd down and 8. There's the Mike again, up to the 39. It'll bring up a 3rd down. Rick Bryan again. Oh, how many tackles has number 80 had today for Oklahoma? Final game here in Owen Field. Third down, 4 yards to go. Turner Gill, and he delivers on target to Fryer, and Fryer looks to have the first down. On a 3rd down and 4, rolling left. Turner Gill with a pressure pass, completes it. It is a first down.
Tom Osborne says Turner Gill keeps drives alive. 3rd and 4. Under adverse condition, he rolls to his left. A tough throw, but drills the ball perfectly to Irving Fryer. Again, just enough yardage for the first down.
This man, Turner Gill, has never lost a Big 8 game. He's 19-0 coming in here, 28-1 overall. His only loss against Penn State. Tom Rathman across the 45-yard line. Bob Slater made the stop. The clock, 8:40 and moving. No rain whatsoever now. Just a little sprinkle here and there. Getting up slowly there is Rathman. And so with 8:27 left in the game, Nebraska a little bit closer to that national championship they so much want. They lead 28-21. 2nd down and 7. They have the football at their own 47-yard line. And a penalty flag. And so this Nebraska team playing with a lot of pressure on them, meeting the challenges. But you have to remember one thing, is it's offside against Nebraska. They are playing against some winners, some outstanding athletes in this Oklahoma team.
That's the first penalty against Nebraska. Again, one of the reasons they've been ranked number 1 since August 8th.
Dead ball, encroachment on the offense.
But it has been a very, very long season for them. Actually, the longest ever in NCAA history. And again, give this team some credit, some character for stepping to the plate and maintaining that ranking the entire season.
They started practice August 8th. First game was August 29th. Now it's 2nd and 12. Here's Rathman. Rathman breaks out of there. Rathman all the way to the 31-yard line. Scott Case on the stop, and Rathman, the sophomore. He'll be picking up where Mark Chalene left off next year. 27-yard run.
Oklahoma's defense is taking some chances. They're trying to blitz people because they feel Nebraska's going to run the football. But Nebraska's good enough, even when you know you're going to run on it, to be able to create some holes for people like Tom Rathman. We have not heard his name much today, but again, it shows you the kind of depth that this Nebraska team has.
They were going to move him to tight end in the spring. Then they had a fullback drop football, and they went back to fullback, and he's found a home. Here's Rozier. Fumble the ball, and it's out of bounds. You can see the frustration by Oklahoma. They could not come up with it.
The character of this Nebraska offense, as we look at Barry Switzer, they started on their own 2-yard line. They knew the national championship was on the line. They started with 10.5 minutes left on the clock. They have marched the ball all the way down to the 30-yard line of their opponent.
And with 7:22 left, the ball now resides at the 29 of Oklahoma. Second down, 9. Shane Swanson in along with Ricky Simmons for the Huskers. Right ahead, Rathman. A lot of congestion in there. Kevin Murphy in on the stop. Another third down coming up. Going to mark the ball this time at the 27-yard line. Third down and still 7 yards to go.
And this is where that man, Turner Gill, does his magic.
Fryer will come back in at the wingback spot. Crowd, the Oklahoma partisan crowd, sensing something might happen right here defensively for their Sooners. Gill complete to Fryer. That's not enough for the first down. Excellent tackle by Jim Rockford. Now, as we mentioned before, Nebraska's trying only 3 field goals. They'd have a long one here.
3rd and 7. Irving Fryer in motion. He's going to try to come underneath the defense and catch the ball and run for the first down. But Jim Rockford is equal to the task. You see in there, make an excellent tackle on Irving Fryer, denying him the first down.
This will be a 43-yard attempt by Scott Livingston. His longest has been 34 yards. Remember, they faked one earlier, but this time they're going to kick it. The kick on the way. It is no good, and Oklahoma is still alive. The only field goal that Nebraska has missed, but they've only tried 4. Oklahoma is still very much in this football game. The ball now at the 26-yard line after the missed field goal. They trail 28-21. Bradley gives to Johnson. He bursts out of there across the 30 to the 32. Mike Knox, Brett Clark make the stop. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in this game. It's now 2nd down and 4.
If Oklahoma scores a touchdown here, Barry Switzer said he will definitely go for 2 points in the win.
And obviously, try to keep Nebraska from winning the national championship. Think that hat is symbolic of anything?
You know where his heart is.
On a 2nd and 4, Bradley giving off to Johnson. First down. Brett Clark on the tackle. Dom also an assist.
Don't ever count the Oklahoma Sooner athletes out. They have too many good athletes. Watch the interior line, 73, Chuck Thomas, Eric Pope, number 63, clearing the way for Earl Johnson once more for a big gain of first down.
What athletes from the 41-yard line. Rushing in this game, Nebraska 376, Oklahoma 202. This time it's Tillman. Dom on the stop. Line of scrimmage just across the 45. They picked up another 5.
That's what they've been doing on first down. It's critical for them in this drive.
4:44. Lots of time on this drive.
Let's go!
Johnson and Tillman both in the backfield this time. Johnson with 100. Make that Tillman with 132 yards. Here's Johnson coming out of there. And Johnson's having a big day. Mike Knox made the stop. And that looks to be another first down. Let's see. They're gauging it. It is at the 48.
The Nebraska defense is going to have to rise to the occasion and find a way to stop Earl Johnson. Mark Dahm, number 51, has been in most plays this second half, but not this one. He's taken out of the play.
It's quite a tandem, isn't it? A 1-2 punch. Johnson and Tillman, they complement each other. They're roommates on the road, and they really get along well, even though they're kind of competing against each other. Bradley to Johnson again. Power football. On a first down, he runs it inside the 45, a pickup of 4 yards. Dave Burke with the tackle. Second down, 6 for the Sooners. What tradition represented here by the Sooner team? Their last national championship in 1975. Tillman. Tillman will make it to the 41, so they have a third down coming up. Doug Herman, the biggest defensive lineman that Nebraska has, made the tackle. Third down and 3. Oklahoma is only 2 of 10 on third down conversions.
But they've been in a lot of third and long. This is 3rd and 3, right where they want to be. 2 downs, really, to pick up 3 yards.
Sewell in motion. They give to Johnson, and it's going to be close. Doug Herman made the stop on the play. Oklahoma says they've got it, but let's wait and see. They're going to measure. Well, if they don't have it, they have a 4th down in inches. Line of scrimmage now just short of the 38 of Nebraska. 2:57 left. It's 4th down. Well, Pat, do you have any 4th down calls you like through the years?
I'd call something that would pick up about 3 yards. I would expect a quarterback sneak here. I'm sure Nebraska suspects that as well.
They bring in another tight end. On 4th down, Oklahoma tried it earlier 1 time, and they made it.
First time the wishbone formation.
They use that a lot of times. They get into scoring territory, but here on 4th and inches. Here we go. And there's the sneak. You called it. And it's a first down. But they really disguised it, didn't they? They went into the wishbone.
You know, it was a good call by Barry Switzer. It got Nebraska thinking about something a little bit different. They saved it to a 4th and 1. Nebraska had not seen the wishbone all day. You get to think about it. While you're thinking about it, Danny Bradley sneaks for the first down. Good call by Barry Switzer.
Well, now, wait a minute. They don't have the first down yet. They're going to bring the sticks in. We thought they had it. We might have been premature. They got it.
Again, we mentioned the first look at the wishbone. Barry Switzer saved it to 4th down and inches in a critical part of the football game. Nebraska had to be concerned about it, and while they were expressing their concern, of course, Danny Bradley sneaked it for the first down. That's really a good football.
First down now from the 38-yard line. Pitch to Tillman, and wait a minute. They're going to stop the play. Oklahoma, by the way, has only 1 timeout remaining. We mentioned that might hurt them before this game is over. Illegal procedure now against the Sooners. Boy, that comes back to remind you how many penalties they've had all year long.
They now hold the Big 8 record. We've mentioned that a couple times.
Be a 5-yard penalty.
Number 1 on the line.
Line of scrimmage now, the 42-yard line. First
on the offense,
and 15.
it's still a first down.
Sewell and Buster Rhymes now in at the wideout positions for Barry Switzer. The clock running with 2:30. trouble. Still on his feet somehow. And still on his feet. All that running. Still about 12 yards short of the first down. Mike Knox caught him, but great effort by Danny Bradley. They just haven't had time to roll out in the second half. Nebraska's put the pressure on.
This is a big game. The athletes play better in big games. Danny Bradley is an athlete. Watch the determination. He sprints out to his left. There's nobody there. There's too much pressure on him. He breaks a tackle right there of 52, Ken Graber, then uses some speed outside. Really ended up picking up about 4 yards, showing terrific determination, though, Danny Bradley.
Second down, 11, 2:14. The clock stopped. Lewis and Shepard split out this time. Bradley with time to throw. The catch is made by Shepard at the 15. He's to the 11. .27 yards.
We talked about the Nebraska team meeting every challenge this season. The Oklahoma team has met every challenge today. Danny Bradley, Derek Shepard, first down.
A much maligned passing offense, keeping the Sooners in this one. The line of scrimmage, the 11.5. You see the time, you see the score. The national championship on the line. Johnson. Johnson to the 2.
Again, Barry Switzer has told us that he will go for 2 points and the win. Right up the gut. One more time by Earl Johnson. Reads the block perfectly. One of the reasons they switched to the I formation was to let people like Earl Johnson and Spencer Tillman sit deep 7 yards in the I formation and read those blocks.
They're Barry with maybe one of the biggest games of his career. They're just short of a first down. They're second and about a half yard. Johnson now penalty flag. They may have another illegal procedure coming up against Oklahoma.
What a critical mistake. It's second and inches. The left side of the line looked like they jumped. It's second and inches. Looks like they're facing a 5-yard penalty.
Second time on this drive. Let's see if we can pick it up here.
69 at the top of the screen, Brent Burks. He is the left tackle. He moves a little bit earlier. Right there.
Boy.
A share of the Big 8 crown in the balance. Oklahoma wins.
That's right. So what it amounts to now, the 5-yard penalty makes it second down and 6 for a first and goal. They can get a first and goal at about the 1-yard line, maybe the 1.5-yard line.
The wishbone
they go to the
formation.
bone. Shepard, check that. Bradley, and Bradley dropped for a loss at the 10 by Weber, and there's that man again.
What a big, big defensive play by Bill Weber.
So the penalty and now the play by Weber. They're back at the 10-yard line. Time. They're going to have to use their last timeout. That's their last timeout with 42 seconds. What emotion on the face of Barry Switzer. He's called some big plays during the timeout, but he needs a big one now.
Now he has 2 downs to pick up this first down. As we said, he's got 8 yards to go, 9 yards to go, but he can pick up a first down before the touchdown. They've been very successful with Spencer Tillman and Earl Johnson right up the gut.
The pressure of being #1. Ever since they defeated Penn State August 29th, Nebraska has been #1 in all the polls. And now it's come down to the last 42 seconds of the regular season of play, and they still have the pressure of trying to stay #1. A long, but yet thus far, very successful season for Tom Osborne. His nemesis, a man who has been the thorn in his side every year, Barry Switzer, 36 of the 38 years this game has decided the Big 8 championship. is the 14th play of this drive. Started from the 26. It's 3rd and 9 from the 10. Bradley, and a mix-up, almost intercepted. Neil Harris, 3 men collided at the 1. Shepard, the intended receiver, and Barry Switzer is not happy.
Barry Switzer is calling for pass interference. Danny Bradley throws the ball very, very quickly. Looked like the ball was tipped there. Receiver number 4. Buster Rhymes running the slant pattern. Can't tell right there whether McCashel number 2 had run into him.
It's 4th down. Hard to tell, Pat. I agree. It's one of those bang-bang type plays.
One more look. The ball was tipped there. The ball was tipped. That's what threw off the timing. There's number 11, Neil Harris.
That was Shepard, though, the man, the intended receiver. Here they go on 4th down. Bradley, end zone. Rhymes.
So close. The national championship on the line. Neil Harris, number 11, he knows it.
And so they'll just fall on the ball. Oklahoma has no timeouts remaining. Nebraska has, under intense pressure, hung on here. They will remain unbeaten. They'll move on to the Orange Bowl against Miami of Florida. And Tom Osborne, a big step towards his first national championship.
The penalty down on the 2-yard line by the Oklahoma offense was perhaps the difference.
But also some fine defense by Nebraska. Today, 28-21 over Oklahoma. The top-ranked team in the country remains unbeaten.
What does it take to excel?
You have my word. You'll get it tomorrow.
It takes reliability, speed, economy. It takes express mail next day service from the post office. Our 2-pound pack is just $9.35. Most others charge about twice that. We deliver over 90,000 packages on time every day.
You're a man of your word. I just got it.
Express mail service. We deliver excellence for less.
'Tis the season for McNugget Mania. Holiday wishes fill the air.
More McNuggets, please.
That's the 20-piece size of McDonald's Chicken McNuggets. Right for decorative dinner parties, office celebrations, close relations, and great expectations.
Together, McDonald's and you.
Questions about what to give whom this Christmas? McDonald's gift certificates are the perfect answer. Only 50 cents each, or a book of 10 for $5.
And so, it's been a struggle. It's been a game that lived up to all the building. Nebraska defeating Oklahoma 28-21. Two outstanding teams. There's so many outstanding players, and one of them we just have to go back and highlight is Mike Rozier, the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy. He had 205 yards and 2 touchdowns.
His 4th straight 200-yard day, second man in NCAA history to rush for over 2,000 yards.
That led to the 1-yard plunge by Turner Gill that brought him back. But then the winning touchdown, the eventual winning touchdown, was by the fullback Shalene. And you talk about determination on a play.
Well, you're going to see some of it right here. The Oklahoma defense was so concerned about Rozier. Sometimes you forget about Mark Shalene, but you shouldn't, because he can score from anywhere.
He just showed that power lifting ability. Our Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. For Nebraska, Mike Rozier, 32 carries, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. We have co-winners for Oklahoma. Spencer Tillman, 16 carries, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Danny Bradley, courageous effort by him, 6 of 13, 187 yards and a touchdown. We'll be back with more Nebraska, Oklahoma in an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports. We'll return with more coverage after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
Sartor Heyman and Santa, a tradition in the past and the present. Along with Santa, we have something very special.